That's Beyonce with I Was Here. Now we move on to a special training program for Caribbean educators, and that's taking place this summer to work with children who have been diagnosed as neurodivergent. This is possible because of a partnership coming out of Massachusetts. Dr. Louise Michelle Vital, Associate Professor in the International Higher Education Graduate School of Arts and Social Sciences at Lesley University, and Andrew Sharp, the founder and chairman of the Authentic Caribbean Foundation, join me now to tell us all about it. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Smile Jamaica.
Good morning. I'm happy to be here.
All right. Michelle.
Good morning, Delia. How are you doing?
I am good. Michelle, let me start with you. When we hear neurodivergent, exactly what do we mean?
Well, for our training institute in particular, we're focusing on students who have been diagnosed with ADHD, autism spectrum disorder, or dyslexia. But really, we're focusing on how students show up to the classroom all learning differently, and how teachers should be equipped to support all students in the classroom.
Yeah. Andrew, I find that more and more we're becoming more aware of neurodivergent children. It wasn't always the case in the Caribbean. Just how aware are we now? I mean, we're at the stage where this training is happening. We've improved a lot, haven't we?
Yes, we have. I mean, we can speak about the implementation. Well, it's supposed to be passed, but the Disability Act that many of the Caribbean countries have signed on to implement. So, and also to implement training for these teachers and also different sectors.
Yes. So how did this partnership, Andrew, and this program come about?
Well, in 2018, being a board member of the program's board member of the Institute of Caribbean Studies, which is Dr. Claire Nelson from Washington, D.C., we brainstormed and realized that it was important to establish international studies and, to be able to cross-train our region with, Massachusetts is predominantly the number one state and worldwide in terms of education, Harvard, MIT, Lesley, and many others. So we brainstormed, we had a forum at the Massachusetts State House to discuss how we can strengthen the relationship between Massachusetts and the region. And here this came about, this program, where we met Dr. Vital. She did a wonderful presentation. We had all regional ambassadors came for the forum. And here we planted the seed, and now it has birthed, and we're looking really forward to more expansion and opportunities where the Caribbean diaspora here in the United States can provide tangible support for the Caribbean region.
It will be offered in St. Kitts, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Bahamas, Jamaica on August 9, St. Lucia, and so on. I'm saying Michelle because you're comfortable with that, but I have it to say Dr. Vital. Tell me a little bit about what are some of the areas that will be introduced to our Caribbean educators.
Well, we're actually starting a new day today with Grenada. And today we're focusing on inclusive response and pedagogy. And so how do we support students in the classroom? What does that look like? And then the next 3 days, we're really focusing on the different dimensions of neurodiversity. So ADHD, autism, dyslexia, what does it look like? What's the science behind those diagnoses? What is going on in the brain? What are the strategies you can use in the classroom? How can you work with parents and family members as partners, and what are the changes that need to happen maybe on the district or the ministry level. And then on the final day, we focus on universal design for learning, as well as how to support neurodiverse students on the tertiary level.
Yeah, I was getting there because sometimes we don't diagnose neurodivergence at an early stage, and so children will be in classrooms with other children, and then we tell them they're slow, we tell them they're not learning, when it really is we don't understand the ways in which they process learning. Are those some of the things too that the educators will be introduced to identifying neurodivergent students And if
Yes.
they're in a mixed space, how to treat that?
How to maybe look for the signs. I think perhaps in the past, some of those behaviors would be seen as the student is intentionally being defiant. They're intentionally misbehaving. They want to act out. They want to be a class clown, when really there's something going on in the brain that is affecting how they're learning and understanding what they're supposed to learn. And so the teachers are discussing that. They're discussing how do they interact with family so that what the strategies that are happening in the classroom also happen at home as well. They're also talking about how do you support a lot of students at one time who have these different needs.
Yeah.
And also we're focusing on how do teachers focus on their wellness, right? Because if you have a mixed group of students who have a lot of needs, sometimes you experience burnout yourself as a teacher. So we talk about wellness as well.
Yeah. Andrew, the program is sponsored by the Authentic Caribbean Foundation through the U.S. Embassy's Caribbean Education Program, which allows participants to come in at no cost. How do you determine who the participants are?
Well, Delia, we have been important to engage with the ambassadors or diplomatic corps here in the diaspora. And through this, engagement process, we were able to connect with the Ministry of Education in each countries. But with Jamaica, we went directly with Jamaica Teachers Association. And they have identified these teachers in special education and also general teachers. And we made a cap of 100 teachers per island. And so it doesn't become, overcrowded and not effective.
Yes, yes. Want to thank you both for all that you do. Looking forward to what will come from these sessions and just how the people who participate will be able to enable our neurodivergent children and their learning process. Thank you so much for speaking with us, Dr. Luis Michel Vital, Associate Professor, International Higher Education, Graduate School of Arts and Social Sciences at Lesley University, and Andrew Sharp, Founder and Chairman of the Authentic Caribbean Foundation.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Daly.
Smile continues after this.